So Mike Israetel, for those of you who don't know him, is, or was, I should say, one of the more popular figures in the gym space. And recently, in the past few months, he's lost a lot of respect among people who once liked him. And we want to get into those reasons today. But I also want to say that I don't know much about this guy. All I know is that he has a clip where he describes his love for AI. He says like he worships it or something because he thinks AI is humans trying to create God. And he tells a story of a conversation he had with AI where he literally says, AI, I can't wait for you to become physical and have a body so I can hug you. And I'm like, yo, this guy's off his rocker. This guy is not all right. But let's take a look at the downfall of Mike Israetel.
If you've ever wanted to see someone's overinflated ego get crushed overnight,
by the way, no disrespect, this does not look good. Okay, I understand that some people have a different idea of what their gym goals are. I don't think anybody's goals should be to look like this because number one, it doesn't look good. You know, he's kind of a manlet. He has gone bald from steroids. And I'm not here to body shame, but I'm also simultaneously saying that this should not be your goal, right? Maybe he's happy with it. I hope he is. I don't want him to hate the way he looks, but this should not be your goal in any way. It doesn't look good. People don't like the way it looks. And you also destroy yourself getting to look like this. It's a lose-lose.
Then there's no better example than what's happening to Mike Israetel right now. He went from raving about how he was the smartest person in the world.
I'm both on a raw IQ scale smarter, almost every coach, maybe every coach,
with an outrageously high IQ.
Pegged at scale high, so you get every single question right, and so my IQ is above 160. We don't know how high because they don't do standardized IQ tests above that.
To having the documents that formed the foundation of his entire career.
Before we dive back in, here's something you can actually do when you're bored. Play games and get paid for it. If you click the link in my description or scan the QR code on screen, you can sign up for freecash.com right now and start earning. It's simple. You create an account with your email and password. It takes seconds. Inside, you'll see a wall of games and offers. Pick one you actually enjoy, play through the levels, and the cash lands straight into your free cash account. It's like turning your downtime into a side hustle without even noticing. Some people pull in 10 to 20 bucks a day, but if you put in the effort, you can earn a hell of a lot higher. If you spend a couple dollars in game, you can hit the levels faster, which lets you unlock the bigger offers and payouts. That's how some users end up earning hundreds or even $500 or more on certain offers. You don't have to spend anything. You can stick to the free offers and still cash out. The whole point is that instead of just sitting there and scrolling, you're making money and playing at the same time. When it's time to cash out, you got options. You got PayPal and gift cards. So if you're curious, hit the link in my description or scan the QR code on screen. Sign up for free. Start playing for cash in your spare time. And when you use my link or QR code, you'll also get a bonus $5 to kick things off. These people are so cringe, man. Like, I hate when people who take one IQ test act like the IQ that the website printed is somehow a definitive fact and also something that they should brag about in every fucking sentence. Number one, the tests can be wrong. These aren't done by, like, professionals. You just Googled some fucking test, clicked it, did it, and you picked the number that you liked the most. You know what I mean? We don't think this guy took, like, 10 of them and then picked the highest number, obviously. Number two, he has a shirt that stands for race play. I don't know why he's wearing this, but anyway, yeah. I don't know, bro. Bragging about your so-called IQ, which probably isn't even your IQ, is just so cringe. And I think, from what I know about this guy, he's a big advocate of, like, science-based lifting. And, dude, science-based lifting, I know I'm super skinny right now, okay? I'm not here to act like I'm in incredible shape. I've been off the gym for a while now, and I have to get back into it. There's no excuses. Science-based lifting is for pussies. If you have to look at data and try to, like, mathematically determine what the optimal rep range is for certain exercises, you are a quivering pussy. Go to the gym, lift the weights until you can't, and you will grow. Okay? I know people are gonna like debate with me in the comments about this stuff. Back when I was in the gym, that's how I grew the most. Yes, you get sore. Fucking deal with it. Go to the sauna. Take a hot bath, okay? You know, take like a, you know, an Excedrin or an Advil or something, or acetaminophen whenever you get, you know, super body aches or whatever. But yeah, if you're looking at data and you're trying to like calculate this stuff, you're probably doing it because you're looking for like the easiest and, you know, the path of least resistance, you know, like the easiest way to get in the most shape. Newsflash, buddy. The entire fucking point about the achievement of getting in shape is because not many people are committed to doing it. The whole point about looking aesthetic and stuff like that, why people hold it to such a high regard, is because it takes effort, right? And so I feel like people who are trying to use data are trying to do so in order to make it, the workload less strenuous, when that's sort of the whole point.
IQ tests above that.
To having the document that formed the foundation of his entire career be destroyed in a couple of days.
Instead,
I am a perfectionist asshole with a PhD. Yeah, hell yeah, that's why I say shit like that.
Dr. Mike, geez, that's a big deal. And I've noticed that carries a lot of weight. Like all I feel is rage and frustration.
Dealing lasting damage to the glowing reputation he spent his entire life building.
Yeah.
And at this point, he has no one to blame but himself. He could have avoided this entire controversy by coming clean to his audience, but his ego and arrogance prevented him from admitting any fault.
I
Right.
guess technically I submitted the wrong draft to the graduate school. And so that's been, being rectified now. But yeah, my PhD was as Jared Feather likes to say, 100% fine, which is a euphemism for it happened and it was okay.
And now he's on the
Interesting.
verge of losing his status as one of the most respected fitness coaches in the world.
This is how I used to stand, like at 3 a.m. in front of my parents' bed when I had a nightmare and wanted to sleep in their bed. I would stand like this, waiting for them to wake up so I could sleep in their bed.
And turning into the
Mom,
laughing
I had a
stock
nightmare.
of the internet. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we're diving into the monumental, embarrassing downfall of Mike Israetel. How his life's greatest achievement
Who takes photos like this, by the way? This is a progress pic that you're supposed to have for your eyes only. Why am I looking at this? Why am I able to see your hairy, it almost looks like a fetish the way, how round your stomach is. Like that looks like it's meant for pyrocynical. Why do I have to see this, right? Why have you taken this and made it so that Internet Anarchist can download this photo and put it in his video documentary?
was exposed to be a sham, the horrible defense he prepared to try to reclaim it, and how even
So let's get into the actual claim here. What's this?
downfall of Mike Israetel.
faked his
how his
PhD?
life's greatest achievement was exposed to be a sham, the
Okay.
horrible defense he prepared to try to reclaim it, and how even after coming clean, he's still continuing to lie to everyone. But you know what I'll never lie about? Wanting you to subscribe. So hit that subscribe button and let's dive right into the
Fair
video.
enough. And now I have to use this chance to plug my channel. So if you're watching the reaction, of course, support Internet Anarchist, but also support your boy. Subscribe if you haven't yet already. Leave a like if you haven't yet already. We continue.
To fully grasp why everyone in the fitness community is so mad at Mike Israetel, we have to understand how he rose to become such a leading authority in fitness in
Yes.
the first place. Mike developed his passion for fitness and bodybuilding during his high school days when he joined the wrestling team, but not in the way you'd expect. It was actually his frustration with how wrestling was taught that pushed him towards training instead.
So from wrestling, how'd you get into bodybuilding? What was that transition?
So my wrestling experience wasn't actually great because we went through a bunch of different coaches
Yeah.
and they didn't they kind of used exercise as punishment for us.
Yeah.
For some reason, it just didn't. I was an exercise addict in training, so I couldn't understand exercise as bad. I remember I had a philosophical realization.
That's a good thing. So he complained. Wait, so apparently the coach using exercise as punishment is what led him to become a gym influencer, but he liked the punishment. So it's like, this is just more working out. So you liked working out because you liked working out. Okay.
Early in wrestling, where I was like, okay,
Fair enough, man.
if training makes us better, and we want to get better, wouldn't rewarding us with more training be more intelligent than punishing us with more training?
Yeah.
This passion turned into an obsession by the time he went to
By the way, what is this whole Team RP thing? I joked about it being race play. Team RP, is this like retarded person? I don't know what this even stands for.
Intelligent than punishing us with more training.
Yeah.
This passion turned into an obsession by the time he went to college, with him studying kinesiology at Michigan University and getting
I'm just kidding, bro. He's not retarded.
a master's from the Appalachian State University in exercise science. These qualifications would have been enough for him to easily bag a job as a trainer or even a professor, but Mike had his sights set on a bigger milestone. a doctorate. So he decided to enter into the sport physiology PhD program at East Tennessee State University. And after 3 years of rigorous academic research, he earned his doctorate in 2013 with the dissertation titled The Interrelationships of Fitness Characteristics in Division I Athletes, which compared a total of 80 Division I athletes across 4 sports on various factors, including strength, power, vertical jump height, and sprint speed. Once completed, the doctorate opened plenty of doors for Mike, allowing him to become a professor at Temple University in Philadelphia and the University of Central Missouri, teaching courses in sports and exercise science. However, Mike wanted to share his expertise with a wider
audience. You have to stop using this image. It's so terrifying, bro. Mike wanted to do this, and so you throw up a picture of him. Can we put one where he has his shirt on where he looks like normal? You know, not like he's about to fucking spread my cheeks open in prison.
Audience. And so...
But no, I think it's impressive. Like, again, a lot of people in the gym space just get famous for being in shape. And oftentimes they're in shape because they're, you know, blasting gear. They're doing steroids, they're on PEDs, and, you know, a lot of the time they can just go to the gym 24/7 because their job is to go to the gym. So it's like the rich get richer sort of thing. But, you know, if anyone has a background where they've done the actual research in terms of physical aptitude and training, I think it's impressive, right? And so I want to give him some credit, right? That's still something where even if I don't like him and I think he's cringe, it's still something that he has over me. And he has over, I'm pretty sure, everybody watching.
With the help of his old college buddy, Nick Shaw, Mike launched Renaissance Periodization, an online science-based fitness coaching company later renamed to RP Strength. In an effort to boost marketing for his business, Mike also created the RP YouTube channel back in 2012.
Resistance Periodization.
Decision that ended up changing his life forever.
Oh, Renaissance, not resistance. I can't read.
Channel started with fairly generic workout videos, but as he gained more of an audience, he started sharing his expertise in exercise science in these videos as well.
Minute effective volume is a little tough to estimate formally. Because we have a book, How Much Should I Train? It's about the training landmarks on renaissanceperiodization.com. It gets very technical about how to find your MEV, and really finding a minimum effective volume means analyzing an entire several mesocycles of training where you intentionally train with as little volume as possible and seeing which volume range of motion.
Well, I think these are just meant to, like, show off, right? Like, aren't these sort of obnoxiously large squats just meant to, you know, be for your own, like, note-taking? Like, oh, this is my PR. Like, I don't think people really grow from doing their PR, right? It's more about the repetition, the reps, the intensity. This is more so, I think, for, like, you know, he's Mr. Olympia, so this is, like, for competition training, right?
Sets of 8, sets of 10, hack squats, leg
on YouTube. This success continued with the success of his fitness mobile apps and books, all of which reinforced the idea of him being one of the best fitness experts in the world. However, once you're at the top, often the only way forward is down, which is exactly what happened when Mike became the target of criticism from another popular fitness expert on YouTube.
Is that Greg?
Doucette. The drama started on the 5th of December.
Dude, this guy has, I don't consume fitness content like I used to. I remember getting into some very strange channels, and Greg is one of the largest ones. And I realized with him being the largest ones that if I were to find ones that weren't as big, I would see some crazy shit, because you go on Greg's channel and you think, well, this is just going to be some normal shit. And he's like, don't eat the fucking crumble cookie! All right, Greg. I got you.
Expert on YouTube, Greg Doucette. The drama started on the 5th of December 2019, when Greg uploaded a video titled Jeff Nippard vs. Jeff Cavalier. Is volume killing your gains? In it, Greg criticized Jeff Nippard's science-based approach to building muscle and called it the wrong way to work out, arguing that the average person is better off simply working as hard as they could.
People are lazy. People don't train hard.
People are lazy.
So to tell someone to hold back when there are
he's actually right, though. That's the thing. I think he's right, at least.
already holding back is moronic and asinine.
Like people are looking for whatever excuse they can to not do as much as they should. And if they want to appeal to their own ignorance as a way to say, well, I don't know how many reps I should do, so I should only do this many. Or I don't know if I should do this workout if it's optimal, so I'm just not going to do it. It's just it's something where, because people, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm not sure. It's like, dude, nobody was fucking sure. Just work out, okay? You'll figure it out.
Tell them, work harder.
Yes.
How hard? Harder than you worked.
Now, this video didn't have anything to do with Mike, but being a science-based lifter as well, he was asked about his thoughts on Greg's video, and he did not hold back.
Uh-oh.
I'm pretty sure I saw the entire video by Greg. He never actually answers the question of how much. He just says, go harder, and he yells a lot, which is
true!
It's precious little to learn from.
Dude, go hard as fuck, okay? Wang half, white ass, you know what, going hard as fuck. That's how you should be up in this gym. Don't hold back whatsoever. And I know this is coming from, Twig Arms over here, but Twig Arms used to be Twig Arms with a little bit of muscle mass, okay? I wasn't doing too bad for a while. And, when I decide to lock in, it's over for you guys, When this channel, starts the revival and I can slowly take less time from this and more time in the gym, it's fucking over. I'm putting you guys to shame. I'll walk out with my cock out and I'll turn every one of your bitches into my bitch. You understand? It'll be like clockwork.
That other than go hard, and he may have very, very good critique that people just need to train harder because they're straight bitches out here. And they may very well be true. Some people it's true, some people it's not. But it's definitely true for a lot of people. But even once okay, I'm fucking training hard. Do you do 3 hard sets? Do you do 6? Do you do 9?
Greg, however, wasn't convinced by Mike's take, and just 3 days after this interview, he posted another video, this time directly challenging Mike's views.
2 things. Thing number 1 is that coming close to failure, about 2 or 3 reps away, if you take the net balance of the evidence, doesn't seem to provide any more stimulus than going all the way to failure. So the argument of going all the way to failure sort of falls apart right there.
2 to 3 reps shy of failure is close to failure. Come on, no it's not. 2 to 3 reps shy of failure is a warm-up set for this boy. I don't train like a pussy.
Greg argued that Mike's comments would be misunderstood by people to mean that they should take it even easier in the gym than they already do. And despite his explosive delivery,
I'm going to also say that this content, for me at least, is sort of like a one-time binge-watching thing where if I'm really, if I decide, okay, tomorrow I'm going to go nuts in the gym, maybe the week leading up to the gym or the week I start, I'm consuming all this content. Once you get the hang of it, you take off the training wheels, those being the informational videos, and then you just go work out. Is there really a market for watching hour-long podcasts on working out? It's like, dude, just fucking work out. This is truly, I think, it's like Occam's dumbbell, not Occam's razor, where it's like the simplest solution is usually the best, right? I think this is what this is. If you're overthinking all of this, the whole point of working out is that it's simple, right? You lift weight, you put strain on the muscle, you're doing tears because they grow back and they grow back stronger and bigger. right? Who the fuck is watching hour-long... Like, these guys... I don't know. Whatever, bro. I mean...
There were many that agreed with him, with comments like, I'm heading back to the...
People watch Lanky Box, you know, it's not that bad.
Gym. I
People watch me. It's not that bad.
definitely didn't train harder this morning. Nobody inspires me like you do, Greg. Mad respect for you. And you are such a legend. I agree with every single word. I love your approach to training. Noticing this, Mike decided to take Greg on in a face-to-face debate on the 18th of December 2019, hoping to prove him wrong. But unfortunately for Mike, this backfired big time. An important point to note here is that Greg didn't bring his loud persona to the debate with him. He patiently listened to everything Mike said and then offered a respectful rebuttal, which looked like it caught Mike off guard, who appeared disinterested and was even caught yawning throughout their back and forth. As for the debate itself, neither of them budged from their stances and ended up disagreeing at every turn, even on things as simple as the definition of training volume.
The concept Greg is defining is called mathematical volume. It's when you do all the multiplication, sets times reps times weight times distance. And that's a very, very good concept, but I think slightly one that does a little bit more for us in training is talking about the number of hard sets that you're doing, because the number of hard sets, as you do, anything from 5 to 30 reps, roughly close to failure, it's a roughly effective as far as hypertrophy for all the rep ranges within there, because as the weight goes up, the per repetition stimulus for hypertrophy goes up, but also you have fewer repetitions.
However, for most of the people watching, there was a...
Is that not just training as hard as possible? So muscle hypertrophy increases the harder you go, basically. Yeah, no shit.
A clear winner.
I'm confused. I'm making sure I'm not misrepresenting what he said.
It goes up all the rep ranges within there, because as the weight goes up, the per repetition stimulus for hypertrophy goes up.
Yeah, if you lift more weight, you're growing more muscle.
But also you have fewer repetitions.
Yeah, you can get more done with less when you're going with bigger weight.
However, for most of the people watching, there was
in this video before, and he's talking about steroids. He sounds like Batman. He's like, the demons find me. And to be fair, I think the Batman tone is sort of appropriate for this conversation. Like, you're talking about steroids. People, they fuck their brains up with this stuff. And, I have some friends that have done steroids, and, I've considered them myself. I think everyone's considered, like, well, if I did these, it's like a Mario mushroom. It's a superpower. But I do believe that if you do it, you're sort of likely to open yourself up to doing other things that aren't just like testosterone. There's this thing called like Anavar. Someone in the comments will know what I'm talking about. You'll start with like test, and I think it's like a gateway thing where if you do one steroid, like test, even if you do like a normal amount and you do it, safely as you can, you open yourself up psychologically to getting riskier with doing things that may not be as safe as test is, and you'll do, you sort of care less about what you're putting in your body. And I think, leaving your own safety at the door and not being cautious with this stuff is one of the worst things you could do. Like, because it's, you can just die. It's that simple.
Every day that I'm on high doses, I wake up in the morning afraid of the rest of my day. All I feel is rage and frustration and anger and anxiety. Externally, I'm like, hello. But internally, I'm like, say something. Let's get this party started. I don't want to live like that. It's terrible. What's that called? Intrusive thoughts. I think about violence all the time.
This is when Greg picked up Mike's story on his channel once again and started uploading videos urging Mike to stop pursuing his dream of
What's the stop coping, Mike Israetel?
going pro at the risk of his health.
I have severe anxiety disorder.
What this is a sign of is some form of a chronic illness. This is not good. It's not healthy. And somebody with all of these health markers combined probably shouldn't be competing. Why is Mike risking his health, risking his life in order to get up on stage?
Though this seemingly genuine concern was also topped off by Greg's signature rage bait roast sessions.
Let's see how those methods actually work, you know, in the real world.
Thank you, Greg.
Is he, in fact, the master trainer that you believe? The master dieter? Or is he just the master baiter? Did he just work on a lobster ship like Coach Greg? And is, in fact, the master baiter?
This continued to July 2024, when Mike announced that he was stepping away from competitive bodybuilding after doing poorly in a competition due to insufficient tanning, something Greg
Tanning?
called him out on as well.
After getting into objectively the best shape of my life, I placed out of the top 5 at my most recent show. In large part, sort of hilariously, because of insufficient tanning. It wasn't the tan. It wasn't the tan. I'm sorry, telling you what you need to hear, not what you want.
Bro, this shit terrifies me. On everything, this is actually gonna keep me up. Imagine being a judge and you're like, yeah, this shit's fire, bro. I mean, like, it's kind of impressive, but I'm like, I want to like turn my monitor away from me. I hate this so much. Bro, like, good for you. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, I get it. A tan can help accentuate the definition. But if you're off, if you're soft, if you have 10 pounds to lose, tan can't offset that.
For Mike, who was already frustrated from not being able to achieve his goal, this was his last straw. He had finally had enough. So, in an interview with Mike Telander in October 2024 titled, Why Mike Israetel Hates Greg Doucette, he decided to clap back in the most explosive way possible.
Back
What did
in
he
the
say?
day on Omar Isuf's channel with Greg Doucette, who is a two-faced lying sociopath sucker.
He then went on to
wow.
explain how Greg tricked him and made him look bad during their first debate.
He talked mad shit in his videos with his fake voice about how stupid I was and how wrong I was about volume or whatever the it was about. And I was like, oh, this guy wants a shot at the title. So when we got face to face in a debate, I mirrored that energy. And he turned off his parrot voice and went straight into nice guy agreeable mode. And almost all the comments were like, oh my God, this Mike guy's a asshole. And this Greg guy just came to the conversation to try to learn. No, he didn't. He's trying to learn shit.
Now, many of Mike's fans praised him for putting Greg in his place. However, what none of them expected was how Mike would continue doubling down on this newfound attitude. After that point, Mike seemed to adopt a no one is better than me attitude. He constantly claimed that he was smarter than every other coach.
I'm both on a raw IQ scale smarter than
this is something else I should say, and this will apply to nobody, but if you think about ever becoming a fitness YouTuber, which I know is nobody, you have to understand that your pride needs to be left at the door. You will never be the most informed. You will never be the strongest. There will always be somebody who is stronger, who looks better, who is smarter, who is more dedicated than you. And knowing that and what he should know that Mike here, and he doesn't, right? He just genuinely thinks he is the GOAT, the best to ever do it, the best to ever talk about fitness on YouTube. And it's like, dude, your ego is clouding your judgment. It is clouding the way that you are speaking, and it's making you sound fucking ridiculous. You are arguing with people who are right and you are wrong, and everybody is eating you up in the comments, and it's just not looking good, right? And yeah, bro, I think with all the hormones and there's something I think very attached to your masculinity when we're discussing, like, you know, physical aptitude. So I think when people are afraid to admit that they're wrong, just as afraid, you know, as they are to admit that they would lose to a fight in this space, you know, admitting that you're wrong, like about, like, you know, a science-based lifting debate in this space is literally basically saying, saying, if you tell the guy, yeah, you're right, you're basically saying, yeah, you can fuck my wife. Yeah, you can knock me out cold. Like, these people are so prideful. They're so egotistical. And I think it's gotten better in recent years. Like, there's a lot of like wholesome gym YouTubers and people who are, you know, just positive influences on their audience and in the community. But you do have a lot of the same shit that you'll always have because of, you know, the nature of this stuff. And it sucks, and it just deserves to be called out. Like, this video, I think, is doing a great job so far.
Was smarter than...
Except for the, you know, probably 20 times this PNG has been used. I hate this. I hate this so much. I feel like this is a 47-year-old, 7-year-old. Like, this is a 7-year-old boy who's also 47, and I hate this. Like, this motherfucker is trick-or-treating at my house, and I'm, like, closing the door. I'm like, bro, no, I have no more candy. He's like, but you just gave someone to the Batman. No, bro, we're done. Bro, I'm out of chocolate, okay? I'm gonna grab my mace. I'm gonna grab bear mace and spray it with you. You know what I mean? Bro, this is the type of motherfucker that makes you want to install, like, booby traps at your door, you know? Bro, this guy comes, like, imagine this guy, you know, trick-or-treating. I don't want to go this Reddit for too long, but he trick-or-treats. You see him on the Ring doorbell. It's like... Bro, I'm like, never mind.
Every other coach.
I'm both on a raw IQ scale smarter than almost every coach, maybe every coach. And I know more about physiology, body responses, etc. than they do in most cases.
Had an IQ of above 160.
I've taken the Ravens Advanced Progressive Matrices test, and I pegged at scale high. So you get every single question right. And so my IQ is above 160. We don't know how high because they don't do standardized IQ tests above that.
Which again made him better than almost everyone else.
And also in every category of human behavior, I'm tougher than you. I can train closer to failure than you. I can do it for longer. I have more willpower than you. I'm just better than you, Lyle.
And claimed that no one could challenge his methods since no one knew more about fitness than him.
And if you think you know, you are presuming you know more than me about the thing I'm one of the top experts in the world in, and also the thing I'm literally involved in myself. So whatever ideas you have about how I can improve, just right off.
This egotistical and brash attitude rubbed many of his supporters the wrong way, with them stating things like, ego is why he hasn't come in shredded at a show. Wow. And Mike has accomplished a lot with YouTube and RP. I do think he is knowledgeable about training, but it cracks me up by how much Mike thinks of himself when it comes to bodybuilding. He knows his body better than anyone else, yet he has been out of shape at every show. Him doubling down on his credentials also made some take a closer look at Dr. Mike's PhD thesis.
Let's see.
Just to see if he was actually as credible and intelligent as he claimed to be, and what they found was shocking to say the least.
Brutal.
The first to properly review and present his findings about Mike's thesis was a YouTuber named Solomon Nelson, who posted a video on the 29th.
I feel it.
I just want to read what this says. I would also like to thank all my friends for their support and their willingness to hang around on my low-carb dissertation writing days and not get too upset at my attitude. Okay, so this is just describing his rage. He just gets upsetty spaghetti with people.
Are not only unsurprising,
right,
but also extensively
common
documented
knowledge
in prior research.
And so this guy just made a grass is green thesis. Oh boy. I'm supposed to think this guy's like a genius for this. And because he took an IQ test that said he has a large IQ, like just on the fucking internet, that he's just a genius. Yeah, the ego here is ridiculous, bro. I mean, listen, you are, you know, doing something I think good for some people, right? You're encouraging people to improve their life through physical training. And maybe you've given them information on how to do that, you know, more consciously and with more intentionality. Simultaneously, you have a giant ego. You are full of yourself. You are apparently, according to people who know more about this than I do, unprepared for the things that you care about the most, which are these shows. And, you know, this thesis is sloppy, like this guy said, and you're unimpressive. I have to say, I'm not I'm curious what these are.
Of basic grammatical...
So he just forgot his space.
This is a statistical absurdity. Standard deviation measures the spread of the data around the mean. A standard deviation this large, relative to the mean, is nonsensical in a biological context. For this to be true, given a normal distribution, it would mean that roughly 1/3 of the lowest performing athletes in Table 4.6 had a body mass either greater than 145.7 kilos or less than 2.1 kilos. the weight of a newborn.
This prompted Solomon to dive deeper, and what he found made Mike look like even more of an incompetent fraud.
These are numbers so fundamentally wrong that they could only result from incompetent data entry, which is exactly what's happened. Mike appears to have simply
a newborn. We got newborns pushing this kind of weight. Newborns versus Arnold Schwarzenegger. Who do you think's winning that?
copied the mean figures
Well, ask Mike Israetel. The newborn might give him a run for his money.
of the highest performers and pasted them
Brutal.
as the standard deviations of the lowest performers. To have made this mistake just once would be damning enough. But Mike makes this exact same error.
Don't you, like, have people review your thesis before you submit it? Like, isn't this, like, the height of your career? Like, isn't this one of the most important things you will publish? And we've got this slop?
In 3 separate tables.
Brutal.
These mistakes invalidate the entire tables and any conclusions drawn from them.
His habit of lazily copy-pasting content didn't end there either, as he continued doing so throughout chapters 3, 4, and 5, often without even checking for typos.
The methods section in chapters 4 and 5 are near verbatim clones of those in chapter 3, reproducing the exact same typos, the exact same formatting mistakes, and the exact same structural oversights, of which there are many. Which is strong
I can see why this guy worships AI, because AI wouldn't make these sorts of grammatical errors. Now, they wouldn't be able to save him with his thesis, but, you know, maybe he can generate some AI porn, and that'll make him feel a bit better.
evidence that large portions of the thesis were duplicated wholesale without even a cursory proofread.
In some places, he even copy-pasted the same section twice, and somehow both his supervisor and examiner missed it.
Mike doesn't just copy-paste across chapters, he even does it within them. On page 74, the exact same passage appears twice in a row, verbatim.
Then there's the nonsensical jargon that only makes him look worse.
Mike's tendency to overcomplicate sometimes backfires. Consider page 14, where Mike defines fitness characteristics as theoretical constructs that obviate the input of any sport-specific technique or psychological variables. Not only is this phrasing clumsy, obviate the input is nonsensical in this context. To obviate means to make unnecessary, or to avoid, or prevent, but Mike misuses it here to mean something like exclude consideration of.
There were literally dozens upon dozens of errors Solomon pointed out in his video, including basic spelling errors and typos.
Basic spelling errors are everywhere. Mike misspells the word vertical as vetical or vetrical, individual as invididual, properties as propertites, biomechanics as biomechanins, neural as neural, training as traininiger,
Whoa!
neural as
What was that
neural,
one?
training as traininiger, science as sense,
Careful.
as already noted, and exercise as exercise or exercise.
Bro, how exercise?
Forgetting that the spacebar exists.
Perhaps the most common mechanical
Oh,
failure
no.
in the thesis is Mike's inability or refusal to press the spacebar. Missing spaces between words and after punctuation are so frequent, it's as if the spacebar was rationed. They're everywhere, and by the time you encounter the 100th instance, you're no longer wondering how they slipped through. You're wondering if Mike's keyboard was partially submerged in cement.
Reversing the order of a page citation.
One reference alone, Cormier et al. 2010C, manages to misspell science as sense,
Dude,
list
I
a
can't.
physically impossible page range, implying that the article ends before it begins. It omits necessary spacing after
No, dude.
punctuation, and it inserts a comma
This is
before
not
the final
good.
period for good measure. This exact citation appears uncorrected on pages 52, 78, and 109.
And distorting or misrepresenting the works he cited to prove his point.
On page 13, Mike makes two assertions to frame his study. First, that the research on technique and fitness characteristics variables is much less unified than research on psychological variables. And second,
thank God this dude took the time to write or to read Mike Israetel's thesis, because I don't think anybody would have gone through all this, right? You know, this is just a waste of time, but it's a waste of time that someone clearly needed to do. Someone needed to waste their time so nobody else had to. He's doing the hard work for us. Not all heroes wear capes. Some of them wear blue shirts and glasses. Shout out to blue shirts and glasses.
Less unified than research on psychological variables. And second, that there is very little information on the fitness characteristic differences between athletes of differing capability. For both claims, he cites two sources.
Yeah.
Bomper and Half 2010, and a book chapter by his supervisor Mike Stone, because an examination of these sources reveals that they don't support Mike's assertions. Starting with Bomper and Half 2010, Periodization, Theory, and Methodology of Training.
Alright, I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to go through all the sources, bro, to be honest. Like, I've already seen enough. What's the last part of this?
Would never feed my original into a large context AI window.
Because it's just more about how he loves AI. Well, anyway, I think I get the point here. Yeah, this guy, he's kind of a joke. Don't watch him. Go watch any of the other hundreds of thousands of gym influencers if you want to learn about that kind of stuff. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. I'll see you guys all later. Goodbye.